wait around for a few seconds to let everyone kind of get logged in and settled down and things like that. And then, of course, we'll start with our student panel with our four lovely students on the side. Go ahead.
I found my place at chowan.edu. I found my place at chowan.edu. I found my place at chowan.edu.
All right, so again, we'll just go ahead and get started. I see us getting some viewers in, so this is very exciting. Once again, my name is Rodney Countryman. I'm our campus visit coordinator here at Chowan University, and I also am an admissions counselor, so I work with our students working in Maryland and some of our readmission students. But of course, we're here for our student panel. So I definitely want to get our students a chance to definitely talk about all that Chowan has to offer from a student's perspective and things like that. So we'll just go ahead and start off by letting our students introduce themselves. Start off.
Hi there, my name is Harry. I am a current freshman and I am studying English.
All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Williamson. I am a junior at Chowan University, and I am studying history.
All right.
Hi, I'm Emma Flores. I'm an upcoming senior and I'm studying biology.
Hey everybody, I'm Sydney Bell. I am a graduating senior, class of 2020. I graduated with a BS in psychology.
All right. Thank you all so much for your introductions. These four students are students who are student workers in our admissions department. They're work study students and they work with us. So I'm literally just going to go ahead and get into it. Towards the end, I am going to open the floor for questions from you all. And of course, for our incoming students, our class of 2024, for our incoming students, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and comment anywhere. And then, of course, I will draw a name towards the end of all the students who have a question, and somebody will get a swag box from us. So we'll just go ahead and get started. So I'm actually going to start and just go ahead and start in order. So Harry, what would be some advice that you would give to a first-year student?
I think the most important thing is to be organized and know what's going on, know where your classes are in the initial stages, know what's needed, constant communication with your professors, and again, just sort of getting to grips with things and being punctual. It's probably, I know it sounds really basic, but being on time, being prepared, it gives you the ideal start really to college life. That would be my advice.
Right. And Emma Ray, as a senior, what would be your advice now that you've been through the 4 years and you're coming towards the end of yours? So what would be your advice?
I'd probably say as a freshman, you want to get involved and try to do things around campus. If there are events, show up to them, be social, things like that.
All right. Thank you. So we'll just go to the next. And like I said, I'll ask the questions in just kind of a random order and things like that. So Sid, I'm going to actually start with you. So what was your favorite part of your classes? Hey, Sid. All right, Joe, you go ahead and take that question. What was your favorite part of your classes?
Um, for me, it was the variety that I had in each class. I didn't see the same people over and over, and it was luckily if I did see the same person, it gave me someone to talk to, or if I knew that person, I was able to talk to them. So I would say the variety and just how small the class sizes is. I'm a person that needs one-on-one connection with the professor, and so that really helped me out a lot.
What is your one-on-one with what is your one-on-one connection with the professors? Like, talk about some things that you and your professors have done, or they have done for you.
I know like Miss Awuni, who is our first year experience teacher. She will cook for you and invite you to her home, invite you to her classrooms after hours, and she'll cook her traditional food from Ghana. And so it was really important to get that kind of experience to just know that there's a teacher out there willing to, make you feel at home, or professor, sorry. And Dr. Pond, who was my counselor. Then I had Dr. Brabin, who I went to his church. He was a pastor at Woodland Baptist Church in that county. So it's just different things you get to see them outside of being a professor.
All right, perfect. Sid, did you want to kind of counter off on that question? What's your favorite part of classes and why?
Okay, so my favorite part of classes would be, I would have to say, maybe just interacting with everybody. I definitely love my Friday classes when I did have them because I only had like two. So that was a great thing. So just interacting with your peers and getting to know your professors is one really great thing about Chuan in the small settings of classes.
All right, perfect. All right, so next question. Everybody can answer this one. So, like, what is a typical weekday like for you all as students? We can start. We'll go Emma Ray, Sydney, Job, Harry.
A typical day?
What's a
What is the
typical,
question?
like, not weekend but weekday?
Okay, well, I usually get up and go to class at like 9, and then I usually have like maybe 3 classes um each day, and then I go to work. And then I'm actually on the softball team, so I will go to practice, and then usually later on in the day I'll do homework, and that's it.
Okay. Sid, what about you? What was a typical weekday like for you?
For me, I would typically get up at about probably about 7:45, 8ish. Classes would start about 9, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday would be about 9:30. So I would go to probably about 2 classes before like lunch, and then after lunch I would go to work. And then typically stay at work for a little while, depending on my schedule of that day. Then I would go to class, and then after that would be pretty much back to work, and then calf and stuff, and get ready for the next day, library and things like that. So
Okay. Job.
For me, I'm not a morning person, so right now is kind of where I come in. Around 11 or 12 o'clock is usually when I have my classes or have lunch, and then I usually work as a student in the missions council. So I usually go to work from 10 to on Thursday, Tuesdays and Thursday from 10 to like 1 something, because I had a free time and I had a lot of my classes were mostly on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so just usually going to classes, seeing if you can work that day and not, trying to find in some extra few minutes, few hours, and going to get something to eat and then going back to your room. And for me, I play tennis, so I had to go back, get ready for practice, and then go back to my room and take a shower and study.
Okay. What about you, Harry?
So, as a student athlete, my typical day is quite busy. Most days, 3 times a week at least, I'm up at 5:30. We're off to a weight session. We'll go from there to get a quick breakfast and go to classes, typically in the morning. Grab a quick lunch, off to admissions to work. from admissions. We normally have practice with the soccer team. And then from there, we're off to dinner. And then anything in the afternoon could be coaching in the community, hanging out, homework, potentially traveling. So plenty to do. Very, very busy days. Maybe trying to grab a nap at some point.
Right. All right. So I am very intrigued to know because neither one of y'all said hang out with friends. So do y'all ever have time to hang out with y'all friends? Come on now.
We've got no friends.
For me, yeah, I'm pretty much with my friends all day. A lot of my two of my friends we're the same major, so we had classes together. So the friends are always there, always.
Okay. All right, because I know, I mean, when I graduated, and I'm still close with all of my friends that I graduated with, but I know like that was probably the most biggest part of my day as a student because my friends became my family, so they played a big part of my day. So neither one of y'all said that, so I was a little concerned. All right. All right, so we'll go to the next question. Let's see. Sid, I'm going to start with you again because this is kind of geared towards you. So, what is one of your favorite memories so far about Chowan since you graduated? Of course, I want everyone to answer this question because I want to know y'all favorite memory. I may share mine, who knows? But what is you all's favorite memories since you've left Chowan or while still attending Chowan?
Normally I would say my favorite memory would be like my very first being able to go to my very first pro bet as a college student. That was fun. But now I would say my favorite memory is really kind of just adjusting really to the COVID-19 and how it changed everything. That was it's a good thing because it's something I'm gonna always remember. So yeah, just things before we unfortunately had to leave from school, and then that kind of memory in there, things before and now. So.
Rodney. I'll go for my favorite memory. I think Rodney's frozen. My favorite memory. Look at he's frozen. Oh, he's gone. We'll take it over from here. If anyone's there, we'll take it over from Rodney. I think my favorite memory is really generic. Was with the soccer team the day we won the conference. That was a very magical day and something I think about quite a lot. That's the important thing about athletics in the school. It gives you an overwhelming sense of pride and belonging, and to win that with 20 other boys that you live with day in, day out, and train hard and die hard with is something that was a magical experience for me in my freshman year. So yeah, that would probably be my favorite Chowan memory. How about you, Job? Job? Emma Ray?
Okay, my favorite memory was my freshman year. We won the conference tournament. We were able to get our rings my sophomore year. So that was a memorable memory, and it was nice to have my parents there because I am from California. So my parents were there to watch us win, and that was probably my favorite memory.
I think my favorite memory of being at Chowan is this past year before we had to all leave. I think this year was a really good academic year for leading up to COVID-19 was for everyone. I say that my favorite memory was that it's definitely when I went on our trip, a team trip to South Carolina. It was really fun to bond with your teammates, get to know them on a personal level, and just see how they are outside of school. And it was just a new experience for me.
Joe, something I wanted to ask you. Obviously, Chowan University was founded on Christian principles. How does religion and your faith influence your day-to-day life at Chowan, if at all? Joe? Emma Ray, fancy taking on that question? Anyone? Okay, just looking at the live comments. Just shout if you can't hear us, that's fine. The technical difficulties. Is there any advice you'd like to share with incoming freshmen? So, say incoming freshmen, the most important thing was for me coming from across the pond was that I needed to be organised and I needed to be there on time. I needed to know what was going on. That was vital. And again, sort of just getting to grasps with the geographical that's set out of the school. But it's not a massive campus, so that comes in handy. And then in terms of the student-teacher ratio in your science classes, Emma Ray, I'd probably say that's a question for you, being a biology.
So in my bio classes, mostly in the upper level classes, there's around maybe like 10 or 15 students. So you really get like that one-on-one time with your professors and in the labs and stuff like that. So it's very personal, like the other students said.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think something about Chowan is when people ask me, what is it about the school, is the class sizes. Just because I think if you're in a big lecture hall and you're filled with hundreds of people, you can get lost and you can find yourself being a number. And I think that's vital at Chowan, is that we have that honest relationship with our tutors, we have access to them, and they care. Having classes with 1 to 10 teacher ratio. So to me, that's the best thing about being at Chowan in terms of education, is that I can go and moan and I can go and ask honest questions to my tutors when I'm not quite getting something. So that for me is the best thing about being at Chowan.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Harry. I was gonna say, like, a lot of people don't value the having a relationship with their professors, but it's really good. I know one of my professors, she definitely got in touch with me after graduation, and I let her know about some good news that I had. So it's definitely good to always keep that connection, because you never know where a professor can, get you far as who they're connected to. So.
Hey y'all! Sorry, sorry, we were having too much fun, so the computer said, "Yeah, calm down, Rodney." But we're back. So thank you all so much, and I saw we had some questions over here. So thank you to Dr. Wilson. Dr. Wilson is our Vice President for Enrollment Management. So thank you so much. And then of course, this is your YouTube name, Barricade Deception. Thank you so much for your question. Of course, thank you all for answering. Let's keep it moving. All right. So what is it like to study in your major? All of you all had different majors, right? Emma Ray, your biology, Sid, your psychology, Harry and Job, I honestly forgot. Help me.
I'm an English major, but I've just been
Yes.
doing my general education classes, so
History.
I'm
Goodness
yet to
gracious.
grasp.
Job, what's your major again, Job?
History. You're getting old.
I know.
But we still love you.
You know, thank you.
We still love you.
All right, so Job, since you're ready to talk, what is it like studying in your major?
I see you, Rodney. But no, history, something I love. So you're gonna always love it because that's what you want to do. But no, history definitely is really hard. I always tell people, they said it would be fun, but definitely it's a lot more reading, a lot more writing, a lot more actually taking the time to sit down And for me, I have a problem sitting down anywhere. I don't know how I'm making it on this video chat, but sitting down, actually focusing and actually taking your time and actually annotating, which just means writing on the side and stuff like that, and just making sure that you understand what you're reading. And I think it's fun, but most people are like, oh my gosh. So it's hard.
Yes. All right, go ahead, Harry. Take us away.
Well, I've just done. I've just completed my first year, so I've been doing my general education classes. As an English major, I've just enrolled in 15 hours credit of English classes. So I'll be studying a lot of stuff. I've got an advantage on British literature, visualizing Ireland. So some similarities. I've got a head start from being across the water. From what I can gather, being an English major, lots of reading, lots of analyzing, lots of extracting. So something I'm really excited about. And I've met a couple of the English tutors, and they've seemed like really good people. Really glad to have me on side with the English department. So yeah, I'm really excited. I can't share too many experiences on what it's like to be an English major yet, but what I'm told is I'm supposed to be a very, very, very boring person. But we'll see.
All right, go ahead, Sid.
So I actually came in as a biology major. I had a goal to always wanting to work with kids, so that never switched. I was a bio major, psychology minor. So I then was like, well, maybe I like the psychology track. So I chose psychology as my major. And a lot of people say, oh, you want to work with kids, or you want to work with mental patients. It is a lot, but it's definitely it takes a lot of patience. It's a great learning experience because you kind of get to know, why people think the way they think and how the mind works. So it's very interesting, but it takes definitely a lot of patience.
All right, am I right?
Okay, so as a bio major, you're definitely going to be taking a lot of labs. They're like 3 hours, usually 1 to 350. And this past year, my junior year, I had 4 labs, so I was really busy. But in the biology department, all the professors are helpful. They make it fun, like all the labs and experiments and dissections that we do. It's definitely a hard major, but your professors are there to help you, and your other students that are in class with you are there to help you. It's like a small like knit group, and that's just really helpful.
Perfect. All right. Thank you all so much for that. So we'll just keep on moving along. All right. So what is your favorite spot that you've discovered on campus? I am going to spill a little bit. My favorite part one is, of course, Squirrel Park, when you like stand like right at the new arch. Like that's my favorite part because you can see all the way down to the Collins building, kind of see the greenery everywhere. So that's one of my favorite parts. And then when I was a student, my favorite part was the library, the lower level, all the way over to the side, the study sessions back there, the little study nooks, because those were the best nap spots. So that was my favorite spot. So you all tell me about what's your favorite spots on campus.
I'll start. It's going to sound really, really strange, but there's a set of trees where I walk from my apartment to class, and in those trees are the most magical. Maybe it's something I haven't seen in the UK. The most magical coloured birds. They are fluorescent yellow, blue, green. I am absolutely positive that someone has trapped them and painted them. They are that amazingly coloured. And I love walking to class in the morning. And I'm not joking. Love walking to class in the morning and seeing these birds. And I always go to my friends, look at that. And then they like look at me really daft and look at me like I'm silly. But honestly, that's one of my favourite things. That's one of my daily pleasures is those trees where the birds are. Mic drop.
What about you, Emma Ray?
My favorite spot on campus is probably Murph's. I love to go to Murph's and get a chicken salad. We literally will all go to Murph's and stand in line before it opens to get whatever they want from Murph's. So like the Hawk's Nest, that's probably my favorite spot.
All right. Job.
Sorry, I was having difficulties with myself. I cannot do technology. Um, One of my favorite spots. Not a lot of people, I think, go to it a lot. So, it's a flag. We have a flag near the tennis courts that has two benches,
Mhm.
next to each other. And to be honest, that's where a good sunset, a good sunrise, really, that's where it happens at. So I like to just sit over there sometimes when I'm doing work and actually like look over there. And it has a great view of our apartment and suites. So it has the white crossing and it has the big long road of all the people flying up and down the road, so you can see all the greatness of Chowan University.
All right. Sid.
I have a couple favorite spots. My number one favorite spot would have to be the admissions office. It is the best, not only because it's a job and we get paid, but the people there are wonderful, from admissions counselor to student to everybody is just amazing, and it's literally a family. My second favorite spot would have to be the Calf and Murph's because, of course, I love to eat. So yes, definitely those two. And then last but not least, whites. I love it. It's just I'm like, oh, I'm in my own little space. I'm grown. That's how you feel in white. So yeah.
All right, all right. So, and they've named really great spots, you all. So, of course, if you would like to see those spots, you can always go to our interactive map at www.chowan.edu /maps. You can go there. You can click on each image to see kind of what that area looks like. And then, of course, us in the admissions team, we did a fun little tour called Riding with Rodney. So, of course, today we're doing Chatting with Rodney. So I'm going to chat with you to go watch Riding with Rodney. So you'll be able to get a view of campus. So let's see. All right. So Mims from Facebook said, my favorite spot on the planet is Squirrel Park. Such a good spot to gather with friends and catch some sun. Class of 2010. Thank you so much. Honestly, Squirrel Park is honestly my favorite as well. But yes, of course, please go watch Riding with Rodney. It's really fun, really cool. Let's go on to the next question. Oh, that was the same question. All right. So, what has surprised you the most about yourself since coming to Chowan, and then for you, Sid, since graduating from Chowan? So, like, what has surprised you the most? I can definitely say what surprised me the most was how kind of in high school, I was one of those more quiet students, had friends, but not, not really. And when I got to Chowan, I was able to really talk a lot and I met a lot of friends and things like that. So what changed, what surprised me the most was how more social I became. But before we go over theirs, I want to read some of these. Nick Corey said that his favorite spot on campus is McSweeney Hall, School of Business, okay, and the cafeteria, and he is class of 2014. And then Alyssa Humes, who is a current student here, she said, I like the path from lights as well, Harry. Thank you all so much for commenting. We having a good time. But of course, let's just go ahead and go to the question. What surprised you all the most about yourselves?
Um. So for me, I did come in a little quiet. Um, Not to say that I was quiet, but I came in kind of observing everybody, trying to just get a feel for everything. And I did actually, I volunteered at a visit day, which opened me up to a lot of different things. So it surprises me that I am capable of more than what I thought I was. Far as graduating, like I said, keep referring to COVID-19. it just shows me that I'm able to get through pretty much anything. Because it wasn't easy having to hear, you're not going to be able to graduate because of COVID-19. But virtually, we did have a graduation, which was very amazing. So my biggest thing is that what surprised me about myself is I'm able to overcome a lot of obstacles that I didn't think I was going to be able to do. So,
All right, good. Anyone else want to answer that one? You all don't have to, just either one.
No, I
Go ahead,
think
Harry.
what surprised, what thing when I learned about myself was that able to adapt because Murfreesboro isn't a massive city. I think anybody who's done their research knows that it's not a place you come into to be part of a massive community. You come in to be part of a family, smaller community. So for me, again, milking it, coming across the water, it was, and coming from a more urban community, it was useful for me to see that I could survive and completely adapt and um, enjoy a smaller community. That's something that I learned. Yeah, that was a very boring answer, but it was true.
Perfect. All right, so we have a question from one of our Facebook viewers, Hayden Amaya Harper. If I hope I'm saying that right, I'm so sorry. But hello, her question is, what's the best advice you could give to an incoming freshman? Joe, can you take that for me?
Um, the best advice I wish I would have got was to just take it all in when you first come in. It's a lot going on. You have a lot of things you got to do, especially at Chowan. There's a different little programs you got to go to really try to hone in on being a freshman, but enjoy your time as a freshman. Really, and go to every event you can. Go to every different event that we have. Just get that experience because this is your freshman year. Not a lot of people can say they're gonna have another freshman year. Not a lot of people are gonna say they can have one at all. So just take it in and just don't rush yourself. Basically, just take every moment, each day, day by day, on a daily basis, and you will make it as a freshman.
Perfect. Sid, since you've graduated, what's some advice that you would give?
I would definitely say get involved. Um, do not sit in your room. Even though you may want to sometimes, you really need to get involved because, like Harry said, it is a smaller community. So there's not much around, but it's very adaptable. I'm from Raleigh, so I come from a bigger city, which it's not much bigger, but it's definitely bigger. So my thing is just get out, socialize, meet new people, networking, because you never know when you may need someone. So definitely always stay involved.
Right. And Emma Ray, knowing you from your freshman year, what can you say? Because Emma Ray was a student who would come to my office, and I would say, Emma Ray, you have to get out your room. You have to go to this. You have to do these things. So what can you say to our viewers about how you were one of the students who didn't get out, but once you did, how you became who you are today?
Yeah, so I was very antisocial my first semester coming to Chowan. I think I was just kind of getting used to something like completely different. Like I come from a city in California near Los Angeles, so going to Murfreesboro was like a complete like 360. Um, so yeah, I was very antisocial in the first semester, but once I started getting out and being social and I met Rodney, it got so much better and you just make more friends and you start like enjoying your time at school rather than just being at school. You enjoy talking to people, socializing, like making those connections.
All right, perfect. We can go on to the next question. So, what is your favorite time of the semester? Like So, we have homecoming week, we have final exam, we have welcome week. What's your favorite part of the week? Like, well, I'm sorry, your favorite part of the semester?
Are we allowed to say spring break?
Yes, and then leave it
No?
just that spring break.
No,
Right?
I think the um the best part I think about the semester for me, I've only returned once. So I had one semester, came back in the spring, and getting back and seeing everyone again and sort of catching up with the people in admissions, your tutors, your friends. That's a fantastic couple of days, week, just to get to grips again. So I really enjoyed that. Obviously, the season, being in season as a student athlete, is a fantastic time throughout. It can be an awful time, but mostly, especially on the soccer team, a great time all around. There's no specific week.
Mhm. Go ahead, Sid. I saw that you were ready.
For me, I would have to say, like just really the whole second semester. Spring semester is just fun for me. One, because I'm a spring baby. My birthday's in April, so it's really good. Like around my birthday, it's so much stuff to do. It's an event basically all the time. Like so, really, just the whole spring semester is fun for me. And then getting excited about graduations and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, spring semester, the whole semester.
What about you, Emma Ray?
My favorite part is probably like welcome week coming back in August, and like getting to catch up with all your friends and seeing everyone. It kind of is calm in the middle of the semester, and then once you get into classes, it gets a little busier, but definitely coming back and seeing everyone.
All right, Joe, what's up? What about you?
I want to of everybody. It was really I like when we have those that break reading day, so we can have fun, not have fun, but like actually take a break and breathe. The first time I actually can breathe in that time period. And the Chuan really does a great job at bringing in different equipment, different things for us to relax and show us different ways to relax. And so I think that's just a really good day for students to get out and get about, breathe some good North Carolina Eastern air, and enjoy that day of just relaxing.
Right. So Joe said reading day. So for our viewers who don't know what reading day is the day right before final exam starts. All classes are canceled. Therefore, students should be studying and getting ready for their exams. But of course, a lot of our students decide to take that time to spend time with friends, to kind of relax and just let the semester wind down, and try to get those things like finished as far as their exams. On that day, they also hold our Director of Student Life, Mr. Bradley Cash. Him and the Student Affairs staff, they'll host a late night breakfast, which is really fun. Students can win cash prizes, games, and things like that. But everything that they said is definitely some fun parts of the semester. Mine is actually exactly like Emma Ray's, is definitely the welcome week. I love to see when our first year students come in. They're so bright and smiling and happy. I love when the moms are sitting out the door, shedding some tears because they're leaving their baby for the first time. So that's my favorite part. I love being there, giving the moms a hug and saying, it's going to be okay. We got your baby. So that's definitely my favorite part of the semester. So let's keep it moving. I am going to ask a question. Let's see. So Miss Harper, she said, how did you guys find out about Chowan and what made you go hashtag choose Chowan? I came up with the hashtag on my own, but we're going to say that. All right. So how did you guys find out about Chowan?
Actually, I had a couple people from my high school that went to Chowan, but It was not my first choice, but after doing my research and actually um, coming to tour Chowan, I was like, this is definitely my first choice. So yeah, it's very family oriented. So just being on campus, I felt like I was at home all over again. So yeah, I found out from just friend peers. So
Yes. All right. Harry, how did you find out about Chowan with your beautiful dog? You're muted, Harry.
There's a dog distracting me. My journey revolved around soccer, where coach got in touch with me, and I'd spoken to a lot of other universities. And what really swayed it for me, actually, in the end, was the fact that I'd spoken to the provost of the university, Danny Moore, on FaceTime. And I'm thinking, what other school am I going to be able to speak to the guy um, practically in charge of the university over FaceTime to organise my classes? I knew the soccer program was a fantastic one, and you've spoken to both the coaches, and it was a no-brainer in the end, really. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, the coaches and the people that reached out and I spoke to, and my admissions counsellor Scott Parker, um, all made it pretty crystal clear that Chowan was the right. It's really cliche. Chowan was the right place for me. That was.
All right, Joe. What made you choose this? Well, how did you find out about this?
Um, I was looking at the what free applications I could do at that time. Trying to stay on the budget. You understand? I'm just kidding. Um, I had two different people in my life who had a family friend. Her name was can't think of her name. Lord have mercy, bless me. But she was a family friend, and we talked to her mother, and we talked to her and asked her how what was your experience. And she said she loved it. Had a football coach named Bozeman, Calvin Bozeman, who graduated from here, and he said he loved it. He said you're gonna go down there and you're gonna love it. And so then I had another friend who went to high school with me. So I had a lot of people, obviously, for this university in Eastern North Carolina. All of a sudden, three people in my county has graduated from there, and I am oblivious to anything of that. So I was just shocked. I was like, well, three people. I mean, three people, they say third time's a charm. So I was like, well, third time's a charm, and three people have told me this is a good school. So that's where I'm going to go. And what really sold me was my mom. She said that she loved it. We visited a lot of schools. Trust me. Thank you, Jesus. But she loved Chowan University. It feels like a family, she said. And so whenever your mama, and my mom has never been wrong, surprisingly. And so she was right about this. I am enjoying my years here, and I love it every second.
All right, Emery.
So I found about Chowan through softball. Um, One of my friends that I played softball with previously, she just graduated, Lindsay Stigler. She came here to Chowan the year before me. So when I came and visited and did the tour and everything, it was nice to know that I would have someone that I can relate to that's from California and that I knew previously. Um, and then what made me go was visiting campus and just seeing that everyone is like a family there, like everyone else is saying. It really is. It's like you have your small classes, you get to know your professors, like you make a bunch of friends, like the workers there, everyone's like, it's just like a true family, and that's why I enjoy going to Chowan.
Right. All right. Perfect. So keep on. Let's keep on moving on. Let's see. All right. So is there anything you wish you would have done differently to improve your experience? Like, is there something that you wish that you could have done differently?
I do wish that my freshman year coming in, I wished I was a little more involved. Not to say that I didn't graduate involved, I did. But I do wish I would have came in freshman year, first semester, involved more, because I kind of sat back on the pedestal to kind of watch everybody else. But I wish I would have went ahead full force and got more involved.
Right. Anyone else?
Definitely the same as Sydney. Like I said before, I came in super antisocial, so I definitely should have been more involved, and I would have enjoyed my freshman year even more. So definitely get more involved.
I've got nothing to say. I did it perfectly. Freshman year was brilliant. I was really happy with how I worked things out. I can't think of much. I think maybe got involved with a bit more of the honour societies that the school's got to offer, but then I have done so. I've put in place those amendments for my sophomore year. So yeah.
All right, Joe. What about you, Joe?
I promise you, I don't think there's anything that I would have done differently. It's been perfect. I probably would have met you, Rodney, quicker if I had a chance to. That'd be the thing. I would have met Rodney Countryman a little bit quicker in my first year.
Yeah. You're still not getting paid for this, but love you.
Can we talk about that though? I mean, that's
Yes.
it's hard times right now, as you obviously can tell.
I understand. And it is hard times. So for our students who are viewing us, our incoming students who are with us today live, honestly, thank you so much. We're not done. I still have one more question, so don't move too fast. But seriously, thank you to our viewers so much. And we want to be able to interact with you all as much as you can. Continue to stay safe. Continue to follow the recommendations of your governor, of whatever they're putting out there for us to do. Just continue to do that, and know that you have the staff here. If you need to get in contact with any students, we don't mind getting you set up to contact some of our students. We have a ton of different students that we'll be able to connect you with and things like that. So don't feel afraid to ask your admissions counselor or ask anyone in the admissions office for that extra hand, that extra booster, anything like that. So of course, the last question is, why do you call Chowan home? And I want you all to take a second to think about it, because it's really we keep saying we're a family, and we're a family. There is a home, so therefore, why do you call Chowan home? I call Chowan home. Like I said, I graduated in 2017, and I've been working here since. And I'll call Chowan home because of the 4 students that are up here, but also the other students that we have, the rest of our students. They've become my little brothers and my little sisters, and I genuinely love and care for our students, and especially our students who will be coming in the fall. Definitely can't wait to get you up under my wing, and you'll start laughing and joking with me as all the students do. But I'll call Chowan home because of our students. So why do you all call Chowan home? Not everybody speak at once. All right, Harry, you start us off and we'll just go in order. I will say something that someone said. I met my husband at Chowan. So that is why she called Chowan's home. That's awesome.
Lucky you.
All right, go ahead, Harry.
For me, just before, leading up to coming out to America, my life's quite transient. I'd lived in London for a couple of months. I'd lived over in Ireland, so I hadn't really settled anywhere, and it was very quickly apparent, just as I got to Chowan, that it was home. That sense of that I belong somewhere, I think, and I don't know whether that's media coverage that we get through soccer, the close relationships that I've built with colleagues, with professors, Probably the biggest thing, the relationships that you build with friends. That's probably it. Again, I know we've already touched on it a couple of times, but the small community. You know, we've had people there in a support system. A woman, Monique, through colleagues that gave us a lot of support. So that's probably it. The support network makes it home.
Job.
I would say I alluded to it earlier. That really, for me, I came from a small community. I come from Burlington, North Carolina. Um, and it's very small. We know each other. The high school I went to, I knew about everybody there. Um, and so it was just that felt like home. You know, that tightness, that knowing mostly everybody. The teachers know you, your family, and all that good stuff. And then as I went to a tour, I felt like everybody was talking to each other. Everyone just got along with each other, and the staff members really want you to succeed. They really want you to do better and make sure that you're making the right choices for you, and they really care. And so after I saw that, I was like, wow, this really feels like home. And I realized my mom was right once again. This is 1,001 probably her being right, but um, it was a home away from home for me, and I really enjoy it. I still enjoy it today, even though Rodney gets on my nerves sometimes, but I still love him, and he's always been great to me. So has Sydney, Emma Ray, and Harry, always giving me something to laugh at, and they are really true great friends.
Yes. I'm sorry, just to cut in a little bit. What the comment earlier, Elizabeth Jernigan said that she met, well, her name is Elizabeth Cox. She met her husband here at Chowan, and then Miss Frances Cole, she met her husband at Chowan, and they've been married for 17 years this year. So family all over, family everywhere. All right, go ahead, Sid.
For me, what I'll say to incoming freshmen, um, when you're looking at schools, you have to find where it's comfortable for you. Your parents may tell you, "Oh, I want you to go here. Oh, I want you to go here," but in reality, you have to live there. You have to go to school there, so you have to feel comfortable. Even though your parents may be a call away, they're not with you 24/7 like they are in high school. So you have to find a place where you can say, "Oh, okay, I find this home. This is comfortable for me." So, like I said earlier, when I came on the campus to tour, I already knew instantly. Everything was just family oriented. I loved it. Everything about it. I didn't have any. I wasn't nervous or anything. It was just amazing. So, I called Chuan home because literally it's my home away from home. I have met some sisters. Literally, I do have siblings of my own, but having different people that are from different areas and that you really connect to, it's really amazing. So I've met amazing people, and like I said, admissions family is always there. So far as the admissions part go, like anytime I need to talk to anybody in there, I can talk to them. It doesn't have to be just strictly about work or anything. I can just talk to them about anything. So that's why I call Chuan home, because it makes me comfortable, and it's just family. Like Saul, it's a family.
All right, Emma Ray.
I call Chowan home because going to school somewhere completely different is kind of where I found myself, and like knowing that I can be independent on my own. And then also like the friends that I've made there, being on the softball team, all my teammates, um, even like people in my classes, like I've made lifelong friends that I know I'll have forever. Um, and like everyone said, it's a family. Like honestly, when once you go and visit, I felt so comfortable there. Everyone was friendly, and I knew that like that's where I wanted to go.
All right, Perfect. So, of course, thank you all so much for everyone who has been here viewing with us. Thank you so much. Of course, we will continue our live session with our question and answers from our admissions counselors. So, of course, for our first year students who will be entering in the fall, please stay on. They'll be coming in and they'll be answering any questions that you have as far as the admissions process. They'll also have some fun with you. And of course, thank you to my lovely students here, Harry, Job, Emma Ray, and Sydney. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. The really cool part is right now, it is, I think it's 5:55 where Harry is, and I believe it is 9:55 where Emma Ray is. 9:55 in the morning for her, 5:55 in the afternoon for him. So honestly, thank you all so much. I hope you all had fun. And then, of course, everyone who is here for our virtual open house, please stay on until your admissions counselor come on, all right? So thank you for watching Chatting with Rodney, and I am out of here. See you guys later.